Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker, book summary. Harv Eker claims that in just 5 minutes he can predict your financial future for the rest of your life by identifying your money and success blueprint. There is a strategy for becoming financially free shared with more than 5 million people from around the world. It's tested, it's proven, it works. It can be your financial turning point, and the place to learn it is in this book. Let's take a look. In the first part, the author explains how each of us is conditioned to think and act in terms of money. He then presents 4 key strategies for revising our money blueprint. The laws of nature determine that what is in the ground creates what comes out of the ground, and what is invisible creates what is visible. Imagine a tree with fruits. If the fruits displease you for one reason or another, and you want to change them, you will have to change the tree, and more particularly its roots. What you do to the fruits will not affect their nature. You can't change the fruits that are already hanging on the tree. You can, however, change tomorrow's fruits, and for that we will have to dig into the soil and strengthen the roots. Our existence happens in at least 4 realms: the physical world, the mental world, the emotional world, and the spiritual world. What is imperative to understand is that the physical world, the one we see, is only the consequence of the other 3. Money, wealth, health, illness, and weight are all a result. Our external world is only the result of our inner world. If things are not going well in our outer life, it's because things are not going well in our inner life. And the only way to change them will be to change our inner world first. As human beings, we are part of nature. This is how we have an internal money blueprint that determines our visible financial results. What the author calls the mental or internal money blueprint is a sort of financial thermostat that will continuously keep us in a certain financial zone. Therefore, if we suddenly find ourselves with a large sum of money without being internally prepared, there is a big risk that this money will disappear very quickly. Everyone has already heard of these lotto winners who, no matter how large the prize money is, quickly return to their original financial state. That is, the amount they are used to handling. In the same way, millionaires who owe their fortune to their own efforts will manage to recover their financial level quickly enough if they are led to lose their fortune. A very important formula summarizes how we create our reality and our financial situation. T implies F implies A equals R. Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results. Everything comes from our thoughts. And where do our thoughts come from? Primarily information and programming that we have received in the past. In a way, to be complete, the formula we have just seen should be written: P implies T implies F implies A equals R. The first P refers to your programming. It will be by changing our programming that we will be able to take the first step to change our results. But before that, let's see how this programming came about. In every realm of our lives, including the financial realm, we are conditioned by 3 main factors. 1. Verbal programming. Everything we hear about money when we are young stays in our subconscious and directs our financial life. If we are conditioned verbally to see wealth as something bad or inaccessible to us, loyalty to our friends and family can very much prevent us from reaching a higher standard of living than those we love. 2. Modeling. We learn a lot by example. In terms of money as well, we tend to act as we saw our parents act. Therefore, it's interesting to find out how our parents behaved. Were they spenders or thrifty? Did they invest wisely or not at all? Did they take risks or were they conservative? And did they always have money in the bank or was it sporadic? Did the money come easily or was it difficult? Was money a source of joy at home or a cause of arguments? In financial terms, most of us tend to be like one of our parents or both. Unless you want to adopt a totally opposite attitude out of anger or rebellion, whatever we do, it's not unrelated to what we experienced in childhood. 3. Specific incidents. The experiences we make in relation to rich people, money, or wealth when we are children shape the beliefs that lead us into adulthood. Depending on whether we associate money with pleasure, freedom, security, or otherwise, we will behave differently in financial matters. If you have associated money with negative experiences, chances are that you will have trouble earning money or keeping it. On the other hand, if money evokes pleasant memories, it will certainly be easier for you to lure it to you. In the same vein, it is important to find the reason for making money or succeeding. If the desire is rooted in fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, it is almost certain that money will not bring you happiness. Why? Because you can't solve any of these problems with money. Money only accentuates what is already there. If it's fear, more money will only change the kind of fear that will have to be faced. Instead of being afraid of not having enough, you will be afraid of being attacked, stolen from, and losing everything you have. Unless you tackle the fear at its roots, no amount of money can help you. In the case of people who are driven to prove that they are good enough, no amount of money can really alleviate the pain of not feeling worthwhile. Since the outer world reflects the inner world, the belief of not being enough creates the reality of not having enough, and the not enough becomes the dominant mode in which one operates. As for anger as motivation to succeed, it will lead to an association of ideas between money and anger. Therefore, by having more money, you will have more anger. And if you want to get rid of anger, you unintentionally run the risk of also getting rid of your money. In relation to each of the influences determining our money blueprint, the author proposes 4 key steps to change our programming. 1. Awareness. Before all things, to be able to change an attitude or a behavior, you must realize how you function. Therefore, it's necessary to observe yourself and examine yourself under a magnifying glass to identify your thoughts, fears, beliefs, your habits, and even your actions. 2. Understanding. Then we will try to find where our thinking comes from. We will recognize that it does not come directly from us and that it is not an integral part of ourselves. It's only a file that was classified in our minds a long time ago. 3. Dissociation. From the moment we realize that our way of thinking is external to us, we can decide to keep it or let it go, depending on what we have become today and the goals we have for tomorrow. 4. Declaration. Finally, we will formally express our intention to do or be something and take all the necessary actions to turn that intention into a reality. A declaration is a positive affirmation that is expressed loudly with conviction, that sends a powerful message to our subconscious and releases a strong energy into all the cells of our body. To conclude this first part, Harv Eker challenges the readers by asking them what their money blueprint is. To answer this question, he suggests that they examine the results. And if you're not happy with your results, he says that the only way to change your financial success permanently is to reset your internal money blueprint. In the second part, he presents the differences between the way the rich think and the way poor people or middle-class people view things. He develops 17 attitudes and actions to adapt to permanently change one's financial life. We can learn to think like rich people to achieve the same results as rich people. Rich people think very differently from poor people and the middle class. They think differently about money, wealth, themselves, others, and almost every dimension of life. Here are his observations. 1. Rich people believe that they create their life, while poor people think that life happens to them. 2. The rich play the money game to win. The poor play the money game to not lose. 3. The rich are committed to being rich. The poor want to be rich. 4. The rich think big. The poor think small. 5. The rich focus on opportunities. The poor focus on obstacles. 6. The rich admire other rich and successful people. The poor resent rich and successful people. 7. The rich associate with positive and successful people. The poor associate with negative and unsuccessful people. 8. The rich are willing to promote themselves and their value. The poor think negatively about selling and promotion. 9. The rich are bigger than their problems. The poor are smaller than their problems. 10. The rich are excellent receivers. The poor are poor receivers. 11. The rich choose to be paid based on results. The poor choose to be paid based on time. 12. The rich think both. The poor think either or. 13. The rich focus on their net worth. The poor focus on their earned income. 14. The rich manage their money well. The poor manage their money poorly. 15. The rich have their money work hard for them. The poor work hard for their money. 16. The rich act in spite of fear. The poor let fear stop them. 17. The rich constantly learn and grow. The poor think they already know. Not only can this book lead you to become rich financially, but it is also a guide for bringing wealth to all areas of your life. It demonstrates how personal development is at the root of financial development. Getting rich has very little to do with becoming rich financially, but more with who you must be in character and spirit to become rich. And the easiest way to get rich and stay rich is to work on and improve yourself. This brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure to read the book because it is simply a masterpiece that nobody should skip on. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified whenever we post a new book summary for you to enjoy.